Yesterday, Trump carried out the biggest scam against the American people and made the largest illegal financial profit in U.S. history. The biggest con in any country's history happened in broad daylight, in front of the public and media cameras. So how did it happen? How did the entire United States turn into a Friday market where everything was up for sale, except for the rich? Get your tea ready and focus, because I'm about to tell you the full story of the biggest scam a U.S. president has ever pulled off. Let me explain. A few days ago, Trump imposed tariffs on countries around the world, and the markets literally collapsed. The U.S. stock markets lost nearly $10 trillion. This was especially true after he launched a direct trade war with China, increasing tariffs to the point they reached 125% on all Chinese goods. The whole world froze, and the stock market crashed in a way not seen since the 2008 financial crisis. As a result, small investors and ordinary citizens began selling their shares in panic, trying to save their money, while fear spread across the entire market. The result? Stock prices dropped drastically and became extremely cheap. Then Trump moved to phase 2 of his plan. During the market crash, Trump kept posting on his platform, Truth Social, encouraging people to buy stocks now because this opportunity would not come again. Then, after he imposed the tariffs on China, specifically on the morning of April 9th at 9:37 a.m., Trump posted on X, "Now is a good time to buy." DJT. If you don't know what DJT is, it's Trump's own company listed on the stock market, named after his initials, Donald J. Trump. In other words, he was signaling to his inner circle to buy shares in his own company and in other companies only a few insiders knew about. And then, exactly 4 hours after that post, Trump suddenly announced he would delay the tariffs on 90 countries for 90 days. By that time, prices had collapsed, and everyone had sold at a loss. Suddenly, the market skyrocketed, and the once cheap stocks soared. All markets jumped like crazy. The S&P 500 index jumped 9.5% in a single day, adding $4 trillion in a few hours. Trump's company DJT stock alone rose by more than 22%, and his personal wealth increased by $415 million in just 1 hour. What's terrifying is that this wasn't a coincidence. It was orchestrated. You know why? Because just hours before the announcement, there was an unusual spike in market activity. Suddenly, the volume of call options, bets on stock price increases, rose abnormally in the U.S. stock market. After the delay of the tariffs, anyone holding DJT shares woke up a millionaire who knew Trump would suddenly change his mind, who bought shares before the announcement and made billions. The wealthy elite, the so-called oligarchs, and political insiders close to Trump. And who sold at a loss? Small investors and everyday Americans, those who voted for Trump believing he would put their interests first and make America great again. To understand exactly what happened, this was a textbook stock market scam known as pump and dump. In short, you wait for stock prices to fall or crash them yourself, then buy them at low prices, manipulate the market to artificially raise prices again, make billions, and leave everyone else drowning. The result? The largest transfer of wealth from the public to the elite in modern history. $4 trillion moved from the pockets of regular people to the rich. Was it a coincidence? Not at all. Here's the proof. 1. Treasury Secretary Scott Pezant publicly stated after the delay announcement, "This was the plan from the start. The pressure was a tactic to negotiate with other countries." In other words, Trump shook the markets to profit from the chaos. Reports from Politico revealed that the plan to delay tariffs for 90 days was discussed a full week earlier. Preparations had started after China retaliated by imposing 84% tariffs on American goods. Trump's tweet on the same morning, "This is a great time to buy DJT." Then, just 4 hours later, he announced the delay. And the most damning evidence, a leaked video from inside the Oval Office, showed Trump laughing with members of his administration. He pointed to 2 men sitting beside him and said, "This one made $2.5 billion today, and that one made $900 million. Not bad, right?" And who made the $2.5 billion? Charles Schwab, owner of the investment firm and a close Trump ally. Of course, as you might expect, chaos followed. Congress exploded, and lawmakers accused Trump of corruption and fraud. Senator Elizabeth Warren called it the biggest market manipulation scheme in history, reminding us of the corruption of the financial gangs in the 1920s. The White House responded with a cold statement defending Trump's tweet, saying, "The president has a constitutional right to reassure the market. According to the Washington Post, hedge funds have started programming their algorithms to trade based on Trump's tweets. The president is now literally a trading indicator. And now the real question. Has America become a country where a president can use his position to rig the market, make billions, and leave the public in ruins? Have platforms like Twitter become public financial scam tools? What happened wasn't just a scandal. It was an economic earthquake that wiped out people's savings and handed them to the ultra-wealthy through a historic scam pulled off with a single tweet and a phone call from the Oval Office.